So what we're seeing in the last years is not only more and more people becoming awakening, having an initial awakening and living that more fully, we're seeing the embodiment of awakening, old habits. We're seeing the embodiment of awakening in a balance of masculine and feminine. It's not that we've had 3,000 years of masculine domination, now we have to have 3,000 years of feminine domination, because the feminine doesn't particularly want to dominate. What we're seeing now is the emergence of a balanced embodiment which integrates both masculine and feminine. And this integration means that what's happening now in this rebirth is not so much about people reaching higher states. It's more about all of us discovering how we can live the realization that's already here in our hearts more and more fully every day in every aspect of our life. And it is this revolution in consciousness, not just the awakening, but the quest, the drive to embody that awakening fully and to give it away as a gift. It is this revolution in consciousness which is the future of humanity. Now, for most of us, then, the old style of spiritual practice no longer really applies, because we're not trying to get somewhere in the future, but there is still a place for practice. The practice now is not dedicated to a more enlightened future. The practice is dedicated to a more generous now, in which the love, the infinity, the presence, the creativity, the humor, the joy, which is already your true nature, can be given more and more fully when you show up at work, when you are with your children, when you're in bed with your lover, or your husband or your wife. In these circumstances, how can each moment be transformed into an opportunity to allow awakening to take over your body and to give itself as a gift? And this, dear friends, may I borrow that? One of those? is what this new book is about. There's basically no teachings in here. This is a book. It's a book of recipes. 72 shortcuts to get out of the mind and into the present moment, into the possibility of radiant gifting in this moment. The book is divided into a number of sections, as I've just described. There are parenting practices in here, family practices. There are practices for feeling, how you can allow your relationship to feeling to become more translucent. There are practices you can do at work, practices you can do in nature. There are practices that you can do when you go to the bank. So I'd like to read a couple of these right now. In fact, why don't we put this up for auction? Why don't you tell me an area of your life where you would really like to bring more translucence, and I'll read you one of the 72 practices that could help. Commuting. Okay, very good. Commuting. So this is driving in the car? Okay. When you're commuting, the car is sometimes moving, and sometimes you're caught at a traffic light, right? Yeah. The same thing is if you commute on a train or in a bus, or if you get on a plane, there are many periods of waiting. Yeah. So I'm going to read you a practice which mostly when we are in a situation of needing to wait, we miss the gift that's inherent in waiting. We try and fill the moment in with something else. If we're driving, we listen to the radio. If we're at the gate at the airport, we'll check the messages on the phone or something. This practice is called pure waiting. Whenever you can, sit and wait. There's no need to distract yourself by filling the gap with random activity. At the gate of the airport, in a few minutes before it's time to leave the house, while waiting for the bus, rather than picking up a book, or flipping the pages of a magazine, or checking email, or switching on the TV. Just sit and wait. Present, ready, available. Waiting for the next thing to happen. Waiting for the light to change. No need to meditate or get spiritual. Just wait, like a cat or a bird in a tree. Become the waiting itself. Wait for the kiss of the divine. Wait for the kiss that kisses your lips from the inside. So there you are. What's the area of your life that most challenges you in living translucently? And I'll read you another practice. Work. What is it about work? Colleagues? Okay. Here's a practice that you could adapt for work. Set aside a day as an act of worship. Rise early, wash and put on clean clothes as if you were preparing for a wedding. If it's part of your life to pray or meditate, this is a good day to connect before you leave the house. See everyone and everything as a manifestation of the divine. Look with the eyes of devotion. There's no need to bow or scrape or namaste, or even to change your outward behavior in any way, to suggest to anyone that this day is different from any other. The practice is a change of perception, not of behavior. The effects will last for many days. Do not do this practice very often, or it will quickly become stale. Okay. One more?
How about family relationships?
Family relationships, thank you. So, how old are the family members?
45 and 69.
I see. Oh, I see. Older family.
Parenting,
Huh?
child relationship.
You have children?
No, my mom and I.
Oh, I see. Your mum and you. Okay. All right. Here we go. No, I'll do another one. I'll read you another one for younger children. Who has younger children in the house? Teenagers. Good. Okay, great.
College students out there.
Sit together with your family and express your appreciation for each other. You can do this in rounds. Start with anyone. Dad, I really appreciate that you drive us everywhere. Millie, I really appreciate how kind you are to your cat. Mom, I appreciate you make sure we get good food to eat. Continue the round until everyone gives appreciation to one other person. Then do a second round and a third until everyone has appreciated everyone else in the family. Do this every day for at least a week when you're in the car or eating a meal. Notice not only how it feels to make notice not only how it makes people feel to be appreciated, but notice how it feels in you to give appreciation. And here's another good one for your parents. When your partner or anyone close to you is speaking to you, whether telling you a story, lodging a complaint, or sharing a feeling, give your undivided attention. Listen with all of you, with your ears, with your heart, with your skin, with your breath. Pay attention so completely that everything else disappears. Listen not only to the sound, to the words, but to the mysterious presence from which those words arise. Listen to the sound of the voice, to the inflections. Listen to the silence between the words. Listen to what was not said, but can still be sensed. In giving absolute attention, become the beloved for which the heart has always longed. Be available in this way for as long as is practical. Then give love and blessings and move on with your day. Whenever you are able to listen, listen with all of you. I guarantee your mum will appreciate that. Good. So, essential to buy 12 copies of this to give away for Christmas.